Following the reports of Canelo Alvarez leaving the PBC and re-signing with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, there are many people speculating about whether or not the PBC is broke and they are potentially bleeding money and they are a sinking ship. Well, time will tell. Rick Glazer is very much grandstanding at the moment. He's saying on Twitter he feels fully vindicated with the critiques he's had of the PBC and their money, or lack thereof, I should say, and just saying this is another nail in the coffin. So Rick Glazer is probably going to be one of the most sought after journalists for people in the YouTube community because he saw this coming. Again, I don't know what exactly caused this, whether this was always going to happen, whether Haymon signed Canelo to a deal for money that they didn't have at the time. Who knows? I mean, lots of promoters do that, especially with the big purses that these big money generators call for. And one thing that should be noted is that because PBC is no longer on Fox and they are now on Amazon Prime when they haven't even had their debut yet, maybe Amazon Prime is not prepared to cough up the money that Fox did, because Haymon ran a very tight ship with Fox, and I mean, whenever you change networks, things are never the same, and also Showtime's out of boxing, so who knows where this goes. As for Canelo Alvarez's last fight against Jermell Charlo, a lot of people are speculating that that is the reason the PBC is going under, and maybe it is. I don't know whether or not that fight is what is killing the PBC, or maybe it was sinking before that. They should have made the David Benavidez fight. I made that clear on Facebook. And maybe Canelo Alvarez didn't want the David Benavidez fight. Maybe he would have done everything but take that fight. Who knows? But looking at the payouts, again, we don't know exactly what they got paid, each fighter, that is. But Canelo, he was contracted for around $30 million plus 60% of the pay-per-view money. So that would have brought it up to, again, depending on exactly what figure he got, around 50 to 55 million, maybe slightly below that, but that's what we're roughly looking at. And Jermell Charlo would have made somewhere between 10, 15, possibly a little bit more than that, or maybe a little bit less. So the pay-per-view alone did roughly around, again, we don't know exactly how many buys there were, but they reported between somewhere around 750,000. So it would have done around 60 million dollars pay-per-view wise itself. So that means that they wouldn't have made a profit on that, especially once you pay the undercard fighters. So maybe that's the fight that ruined the PBC, who knows. But this whole David Benavidez situation, why the fight hasn't happened, etc. If these reports from Mike Coppinger and Michael Benson are accurate, then Canelo Alvarez simply didn't want the fight. He was prepared to fight everybody except David Benavidez. So, yeah, I'm not sure how long the PBC has left. Maybe it's just down to the fact that they've got a new network, Amazon Prime, and Fox is no longer in the business. Showtime is no longer in the business. Maybe that's just what's affecting the PBC. Maybe they're just not prepared to shell out as much money as Fox did. Or maybe the PBC really are in trouble. Time will tell, but we are not going to know for certain until they do more events and we see how those do. But I would not be shocked if we hear about the PBC having more money problems sometime this year. And I do hope that fighters like Tim Tszyu, who have routinely been independent, but now he's moving to fighting in the United States now that he's a champion, don't sign long-term deals with the PBC, because I really don't like where this could be going. Because we've seen how many fighters in PBC have long layoffs. I mean, Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola talked about it. Deontay Wilder even talked about it last year. And Jermell Charlo was one of the worst when it comes to the long layoffs. So, I mean, why has Stephen Fulton not fought since he lost to Naoya Inoue? Not liking where this is going, but let's wait and see what happens. Drop your thoughts down below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more.